Today, we finally go on the offensive against those bandits as we destroy their camps and steal their gold for our coffers. We also get yarn production going and we build a giant orchard. Now sit back, grab a drink, and enjoy today's video. Alright, so last episode we had bought some sheep because we wanted to start focusing on wool and clothes production. And to that effect, I think we're also going to build some flax fields. Flax can be turned into linen and then converted to clothes. So we're going to build those right near our barley fields. We can see that there's some nice fertility right here between the trees and our other barley fields. So I think we'll get that going. And after that is done, we're going to raise some levies. Now, one of my viewers suggested that we should take our levies and attack the bandit camps around the map, as that will help us get some money. Because if you remember, we're having a lot of trouble with money in this game because we've had a bug with the traders. The traders aren't visiting and we need another way of making some money. And I also need some influence. And so there are some bandit camps scattered around the map. There are two currently, and they are both in Gopsburg, and I believe they are empty. If we have a look, there doesn't seem to be anyone living here, and the other one also is empty. So I think we could just grab our levy, march right into these camps, and get some revenue, some money, and some influence. So we'll get the flax field going, and we'll raise the militia. And now that the militia is raised, let's send them halfway across the map to those empty bandit camps. Now, while we wait for the militia to get to the bandit camps, we got a message that the work area for the lumberjacks is empty. So let's pause this lumberjack. And let's get this camp back up and running. That should do it. We also need to buy the animals for these two burgage plots over here. So we'll go one of them goats, and the neighbor can have some pigs. And we're down to only 32 gold. And if we remember last episode, we wanted to buy some horses for our traders to try and fix our trade problem. And horses do cost quite a bit of gold. They are 60 gold each. So I think that as soon as we get some more income, the money will go towards the horses. And our militia is just about getting to the bandit camp, so let's see if this works. And we've got a new message. When searching through the enemy belongings, you find a stash of goods. They could be sent to your people who surely need them, though it is your right to keep it. So yes, this belongs to my treasury now. And there we go, 117 gold to the treasury. So let's take them immediately and send them to the other camp, which is right over here. And there we have it. The second bandit camp is also taken care of. So let's send these people home. And with all that gold, we will be able to hire some mercenaries to supplement our forces. So we'll have our own levies, we'll have the retinue and mercenary forces. And that's going to allow us to maybe throw our weight around a bit, because if we have a look at the map real quick, the blue player is expanding. He's expanded quite a bit, and we're kind of left in the corner here. And I'd like to have this region, Passweg, because of that clay deposit that we were talking about last episode. If we turn that into a deep mine, we could have an infinite source of roof tiles. So one, we could build our church with that, and we could also export it and make some more money with it. So I think we're going to try and take Passweg from the blue player. But we can't right now because I just saw that costs 2,000 influence, which we don't have. We're at 500, so we're going to need to wait a bit. But as soon as we get the influence, we'll be able to press our claim on Passweg. And I went ahead and bought another horse for the trading post. Let's upgrade the small hitching post behind it. And we are still out of planks. That was our problem last episode. Didn't we? I thought we stopped production. And something is eating into our plank reserves. I'm not sure what it is. I just checked the joiner shops, and we did in fact place a reserve on planks, so nothing should get used. Nothing should get built there if we don't have at least 20 planks in stock. So I'm not quite sure. I'll have to figure that out. And it might have been the bowyer's shop. I forgot to place a reserve on this one. I think he is the culprit. So let's bump that up to 20. And the militia is back, so let's disband them right away, so they could all go back to work. And I forgot to convert some burgages here to small holdings. However, looking at my free families right now, I don't think we're going to do that because we only have one available family for construction. So let's not make them into small holdings just yet. Now let's upgrade some of these burgages we built last episode. I'd like to get them to level 2 so that we could get some backyard extensions for clothes production. We don't have many planks though, so we'll have to wait for those. We have 3 planks. And we're back up to 20 planks, so we could upgrade the other 2 burgages. So I think we're going to want to make a tailor's shop and a cobbler's shop. I believe the cobbler requires leather, so I think we'll start with the tailor's shop. And we only have 3 sheep anyways, so I don't think that's enough to start full-blown production of clothes or anything, but let's at least get the tailor up and running when we can. And speaking of sheep, we need to build a sheep farm. That is where the workers will take the sheep and shear the wool from them. So let's place the sheep farm just behind the pasture, right here. And it's September, so we have to send some people to the field. The sheep farm will have to wait. There we go. We've got 2 families working at either farmhouse. That should be enough. After all, we've only got 4 fields to harvest, so it should be enough. And while the harvest was going on, the sheep have reproduced. So they've now doubled in number, so that's going faster than I expected. So we might be ready for a full-blown clothes production line. Very good. Now let's assign someone to the sheep farm. And in theory, we should start getting some wool. So with all that wool, let's build the tailor's shop and see what exactly we could do with all of that. We've also got some people living in the houses in the back, so I think we'll upgrade those as well. We've got the planks, so let's use them. And we've actually got quite a few planks. Let's upgrade all of these. Now, since we've got a lot of shields and a lot of warbows, because we're not exporting them fast enough, I think we'll just straight up pause the production for now. So let's tell them to stop. And once we've exported more of them and our reserve goes down, then we'll think about maybe building some more. And since we've got quite a bit of money in our treasury now, we're at 473 gold coins, I think we'll go ahead and upgrade our retinue and maybe fill it out to the 12-man complement. And there we have it, 12 out of 12. That should help. Now I went ahead and bought a couple more chicken coops because out of all the food we have, the vast majority of that is cabbages. We've got 196 cabbages in stock, so that's a great amount. However, I'd like to try the butcher shop and see how that works, but we just don't have enough meat for that to work. We barely have any, really. So I've been trying to build more chicken coops and more animal pens to try and get some more meat. Now we're going to put someone back in the stone gatherer's camp because we're going to need some more rubble stone. Because as our stocks of timber and planks are increasing, it reminded me that we still haven't upgraded the manor since we first built it. So if we get a little bit more rubble stone, we'll be able to start making some additions to the manor. I'm thinking of maybe placing one of those towers that enables you to have a bigger retinue, and we might as well upgrade the walls and just make it overall a little bit prettier. So we'll wait for the rubble stone to get collected, and I think we'll start work on that right after. And I've waited quite a while wondering why the workers weren't harvesting any of the stone. And that's in fact because the stone has been depleted. So we have no more rubble stone now to get. So we're going to have to try and look for some of that elsewhere. Luckily, it's actually quite cheap at only 1 gold. So I think we'll import what we need for now. Really don't need that much anyways for the construction of the manor. So it'll be okay. And I noticed there is some stone in the next region over in Passwag, so eventually when we claim this region, we'll have access to the stone. And the tailor shop has been built, so let's have a look and see what exactly we can produce here. So we've got clothes, which is produced from linen, which we will have next year from the flax. We have clothes made from yarn, so we'll get that from the sheep. And we can also make gambizons from 2 linen. So that's very interesting. Now, my question is, how do we get yarn? We have the wool, but how do we turn it into yarn? And the answer to that question is the weaver's workshop, which turns wool into yarn, but also flax into linen. So we absolutely need one of those. And I'm thinking of placing it right here at the entrance to the town, right next to our logging camp and trading post. So let's place it down right here and wait for it to get built. Now let's get someone working there. We'll have to unassign some families elsewhere because we are out of construction, out of free families for construction. Believe we could reduce the logging camp. Oh, and we also have families, I think, in the farms that are still assigned, so let's get them out of there. Want to keep one family at each farm like we did last year. That is much better. So let's set the focus at the tailor shop. We don't have any linen just yet. That'll be next year, so let's go for the clothes. The woolen clothes, that is. And while we're at it, let's also construct the expansion to have someone else work here. And speaking of expansions, we also have several we could build just next door, so let's get those going as well. And we're now up to 159 planks, but less timber. So let's slow down plank production a little bit. And now let's construct an extension for the house on the corner of the lot. One thing we haven't built yet is an orchard. We have no orchards. They take quite a bit of time to grow, 2 to 4 years, depending on what you choose to grow. But they could be interesting. Maybe we'll keep some space further back and make one big orchard, kind of like we did with the cabbages. That might be fun. But for now, let's focus on animals again. So let's get some more chickens. And now that we have a couple of free families and more homes that are going to fill up before next year, I think we'll go ahead and select some of those livestock raising families we chose before, and we'll turn them into small holdings to double the capacity. And there we have it. That's a lot of small holdings, but hopefully we'll have some meat left over and we'll be able to build a butcher shop soon enough. Right now we are very low on meat. We're having a hard time getting some of that, so hopefully the small holdings will help us along. Having a quick look at the marketplace, we could see that the granary supply capacity is at maximum. So that means we need to add one more family to work at the granary. So let's do that right now. And as with last time, they will set up a new market stall and they'll help supply more villagers with food. And now we just have to make it through winter. And spring is here, and the first thing I noticed is that our military equipment has gone down significantly. As you can see, we are now down to our minimum amount of warbows and shields, and consequently our plank number has shot up. We now have a huge amount of those, so let's turn our joiners back on. The joiners and the bowyer's workshop also have to be operational. Let's also construct the backyards to these burgages, which have finished their expansions to level 2. So let's build some more animals. And I'd like to make a plot in the back here for an orchard. And I think we'll make it right here. So let me place the roads and try and make a big enough plot for an orchard. and that will be one heck of a big orchard. That should be a huge amount of fruit. With all the trees cut now, you could really see the size of the plot. It's going to be very big. So let's select what fruits we want to grow. So we have either apples, medium yield, pears with a high yield, but take longer to grow, or quinces, which take 2 years, but have a low yield. I think I want to go middle of the road. Let's grow some apples. That costs a huge amount of money because of the size of the plot, but luckily we sold all of our military equipment, so we have enough money to purchase that. So let's go ahead and do it. And I'm tempted to convert it to a small holding as well, and I think I will. And let's construct the expansion as well while we're at it. That'll wrap things up for today. The region is safer, the economy is running, and the apples are growing. In the next episode, we'll build on that momentum and see just how big this town can get. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help the series grow. Thanks for watching!